This conference will now be recorded.
Barak, I do have the document on the folder for today's meeting with agenda and the notes section.
Great.
I can share the link actually on the chat. Let's see.
Let's put the link so everybody can update.
Okay, I sent the link. Do you see it? Guess we'll give it a minute more.
Yep.
To see. All right, I think let's get started. Happy Monday, everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody. Eric and Chris, welcome to the meeting. This is a first meeting of the year, so I guess it's a little slow. We don't have many participants, and we're a little light on the agenda too. But one of the things we wanted to talk about in today's agenda was solicit ideas on what we would like the project to take on, what new things for 2023, so we can start thinking about incubating those. So that's one. And also the second agenda is to just send a reminder that there's a regional summit coming up in Prague in April, and the call for papers ends in end of January. And just to send a reminder. Barak, do you have anything to share other than that?
Yeah, maybe just towards the original summit, if anyone here on the call may have any ideas for us to take on, any topics for kind of a more wider forum discussion or panel that we may want to initiate towards the summit. That could be beneficial as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and just housekeeping, I have shared a link to the document, the agenda document on the chat. So please open that and sign your name as an attendee to the meeting. Thanks for that. So yeah, I'll keep it So let's start with the ideas. Chris and Eric, do you have any topics that are of interest that you see coming up in 2023 that we should pay attention to, or kind of take a sidebar and discuss if there's a potential for a new sub-project or a new initiative?
I don't have anything.
All right. Chris, about yourself?
No, I don't have anything at this time right now.
Okay.
I think Ravindra kind of trying to look back into the summit we had in San Jose. I think there were two key topics that were kind of going through many of the discussions and presentations, right? Which one of them was how optics may get closer to the networking devices, right? So maybe that's kind of a direction we should think about. And the other one is, there were many presentations. How would AI networking be affected or affect our work, right? So potentially that's additional topic that we want to kind of focus on, at least towards the summit in April, and potentially continue from there.
So Barak, on the optics routing, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think it was, I think, mostly in the track of the special track about optics that was in the last summit.
Mm-hmm.
So there were many discussions about, and also in our tech talks, right, about whether architectures such as NPO, CPO, when will these be relevant? What are the benefits or challenges for these technologies to rise? How our community see these? How much focus should we as a community put into making one or more of these two options successful for us?
Okay, yeah, so that definitely, I think this is the early days of those, and we can definitely bring a community around those.
Yeah, and I think in general, right, we see that the power of the solutions continue to rise, which put challenges on system and data center levels. These optics, so-called architectures, may address some of these challenges or kind of help reduce these challenges going forward.
Definitely, I took
So
that
at least when I come towards 2023, I think I have these kind of two topics in mind, and I think they were also discussed quite heavily in the last summit. So that's kind of a signal, if you will.
Yeah, definitely, I see a lot of potential for that area. We can probably have one of the monthly meetings reserved for that to kind of foster some early discussion.
Right.
Okay, I'll take that. And the other thing, hi DJ, welcome to the meeting.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, good morning, Ravindra.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Yep.
Happy New Year.
So DJ, we've been discussing kind of what topics the community thinks is interesting for 2023 so that we can start incubating some of those. And the first thing was talked about was optics distribution, and again, PO, CPO, should community put in some efforts to make this successful. So that looks like a topic of interest. I think Barak, you mentioned AI networking. Definitely, there was a lot of presentations on this in the summit, and especially it was a panel talk on standardizing some of the implementations knobs for key transport. And I've reached out to the panel moderator, the organizers, to see if they want to take it further along. right? And so they said they need some more time to regroup. So I will take that as one of the topics on AI networking. Do you have any others you were thinking about?
I don't know. I need to think more about it. I'm just raising it as a point because it was very, I think it was very broadly discussed in the last summit, right? Both
Right.
as part of the keynotes, which I believe Meta put as kind of a challenge for the industry, as well as in our track. Many of the talks were addressing this in one way or the other.
So, I mean, one, we could reach out, definitely we can reach out to the different presenters to see if they have any more ideas in that area that they would like to pursue within the OCP. I mean, I know some of the work already happens in the Psi community,
Right.
but anything new, like early stages kind of work, we can solicit some ideas from the presenters. Okay, so we have two. I've taken notes about NPO, CPO for optics distribution and AI networking.
Ravindra, is there a document you're writing? Maybe you can share the link and everybody
Yeah,
in the chat.
I've shared the link on the chat. You should have it.
Oh, yeah, I joined a little bit late, so maybe you might want.
Oh, it
Thank
doesn't.
you.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
Share.
the chat is not showing old messages.
Oh,
Oh, really?
give me a second.
Yeah, something, you guys can, I think GoToMeeting doesn't have the ability. Most chats are like that. I think they don't show the old messages.
Okay.
Even WhatsApp is like that. If you have a group and you add somebody new to the group, they won't be able to see the old messages. So.
Got it. Okay, I
Yeah,
think
can
now
you
you
see
should.
that?
Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, I think that's on the new topics. I mean, yeah, if you, DJ, if you have heard about any other interest or that may be relevant to the networking community, feel free to share here or offline, and we can pursue those. So one of the ideas is to how to best make use of the monthly meeting slots we have, right? And without having to meet for the summits, kind of start out using these monthly meeting slots to start early discussions on new interesting topics. And that's the motivation here to kind of start gathering those.
One topic I'm going to add it, and I think that is basically launch of sub-project.
Sure.
And I think we can figure out how best to do that. But I think all of Ravindra, you're familiar with what I wrote, right?
Yeah. I think I see notes. You're talking about launching of a sub project to standardize the
Yes.
CPO module
Yeah.
on a switch. I mean, there was some early discussions offline. We haven't made much progress since then. Definitely, that's definitely an area where we're. I think even Barak was alluding to that how do we take these NPO CPO things further. I think it plays into that. So definitely we would want participation from the companies that would be motivated to make this happen, and definitely ODMs and maybe OEMs who switch manufacturers or ASIC manufacturers can participate. Yeah, so that's definitely on our radar.
Yeah, and I think there are interests from the two companies, so I just made a note, and I'm just going to add action item. And I think here what we need to do is let's also reach out to Jeff Jacqueline.
All right. Yeah. So do you recommend we just use the next monthly meeting to discuss this?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
And I think what we can do is we can plan out, bring those folks, and then the idea is we use these monthly meeting to sharpen the project goal and mission. And then I would even recommend that at the regional summit, OCP networking team, which is all of you here, talk about this project, or somebody else from the sub-project lead, right? They explain importance of this project at the regional summit, which is happening in Prague. So I think that could be the short-term goal, which you guys can look for. And then there is also OFC happening, I believe, in March. I don't know when is OFC happening, but that could be another area where you can kind of say, OCP plan. So I think what you can do is here the action could be so Ravindra, Bharat, what I would suggest is also reach out to Cliff and ask him to come and present at the networking call. Basically he's doing stuff on optic. He's doing stuff which has direct bearing on the networking. So you guys should be aware, or the networking community should be aware. So I'm sure he's more than happy to come and talk, and then even like, hey, what are the things we could do here to help you, etc.
Is Cliff's work related to CPU or something different?
No, this is OFC. So I'm just adding things for the networking group to pursue.
Okay. So this is different.
I'm bringing all the topics. What I'm doing is I'm giving you ideas. Some are short-term ideas, some are long-term ideas, some are medium-term ideas. So hey, as a part of you all being a networking project lead, you have right to ask OCP Foundation, what are we doing at OFC? And even shape it if you think. And I'm happy to be in many of those discussions. I actually already participate in those discussions in a different way, but I feel I want to bring this community into that discussion as well, because at the end of the day, a lot of it is purely related to networking.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, you all have ideas which should be reflected in what OCP does at OFC. It should not be something which foundation says, okay, we are doing it. It should be more based on the common knowledge of the expert in that particular area. So that's why I'm bringing it up.
Got it. Thanks for those pointers.
Yeah.
We'll follow up offline on this.
Yeah.
All right. Any ideas for panels or things like that towards the April summit that maybe Ravindra and myself can? Because I think issuing a panel from paper from a call for paper is quite hard. So Ravindra and I thought that maybe if the community can come up with topics, and then we can potentially take it forward. Put a group of people that may be interested and make it happen. So any topics that will be of an interest for such a panel?
So I just added plan out regional summit. Basically what you're saying, Bharat, is plan out what is it that, and it could be a regional summit is much smaller. It's not going to be huge. So you don't need to do too many things. You can just do one thing and say we are done, right? And so it's worth talking about it. Yeah. In fact, the panel which I'm thinking, Eric is here. Barack, you and Eric represent actually pretty interesting things. So I think at the global summit, there were a couple of talks given at the keynote, right? At the keynote level on things we want from the networking. You can just do a panel on that. You don't need to do new things. You just do exact same content because that content was for the global summit audience, which is North America. You take that exact same concept, bring it to European audience, and do a short panel on, how do you do high performance networking for new use cases like AI training cluster. And I'm sure a lot of discussion can be had there. So I just give you a topic.
That's a very good, yeah, I like it. That's a very good point. Okay. Certainly. Ravindra, you are in mute.
Right. Question was, what the next step is to identify who would be the participants in the panel.
Yeah, I think we can take it offline.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's come with ideas here and then see how to make it work later on.
All right. So I'll take that as a next step. Yeah, I think we have 4 actions identified. Any other things? Otherwise, we can start giving names to these AIs.
Yeah, I think maybe also send, make sure that, I guess beginning of the year is, as you said, right, a week time for people to join these kind of meetings. So maybe let's send out an email to the community, put these requests, and maybe get additional feedback through email.
Would the feedback be by email, or do we want them to edit this document, or?
Either, yeah, whatever works. Yeah, I think for people, many times people will just answer with email, but if they can go ahead here and add it, that would be great.
Okay. Okay, so I'll take that as an app by email.
Yep.
I'll take that action. The panel on the AI, would you want to take that, Barack?
Yes.
Okay. And on the reaching out to Hemal on the standardizing Rocky, I'll reach out because I've already in communications with her. Cliff on the OFC, do you want to reach out?
Yeah,
Cliff?
I can reach out. Yeah.
And on the CPO, I'll reach out.
Okay. Yeah, we need to do another follow-up to see how we make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and let me know if there's anything I can be of help, but you guys are the face of the networking leadership, but I'm always there to help both of you or everyone. So don't hesitate to say, hey, DJ, I need help here, there. I'll more than happy to jump in.
Awesome.
Thanks, Vijay. All right, that's all we have for today. I'll send out the minutes and then we'll follow up on the next steps.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thanks guys, bye.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, DJ. Bye, Ravindra.